Okay, so today is our first full episode of Truth or Dare. So we're going to be asking each other one question, and then we will have the opportunity to answer it, like truthfully, like really truthfully, or take a dare from the other person. So
I'm scared about what your question is for me.
I'm scared what your question is for me. Okay, so do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can ask me first.
Okay, so question from me is, did I turn out the way you wanted?
That is a really, really tricky question.
I know.
I think it's a hard one to answer because I think before you have a child, you always believe that you'll be happy with your child, however they'll be. You'll love them no matter what. And then you have them, and you kind of you don't know where this is going, do you? Then you have them, and you realise that you have all of these kind of built-in expectations about what your child is going to be like.
Yeah.
And most of the time, those expectations are just based on who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And so when your child is not the same as you, when they're a different person, which
Me?
you absolutely are, completely different person,
I'm like, Dad.
you have to. Well, no, you're Abby. You, as a parent, you have to get used to this idea that your child is completely themselves, and they're not just going to be a little mini me.
Yeah.
And so I think probably early on, I probably had expectations, and when you were different from what I expected, I had to find ways to deal with that. But I think the lovely thing is that now I am in a place where I just get to celebrate you becoming the best version of yourself and your own person, and I can take the pressure off myself to have any expectations about who you are, and that's really cool. So I think that's kind of answering your question. I think maybe at some point I did have expectations and now I don't, and so because I don't have expectations now, you're completely meeting them because
expectations.
I don't have expectations anymore. I just want you to be completely and wholly yourself and figure out who that is.
Yeah. That's nice.
What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. Like, I had no clue. It could have gone either way. It could have been like, yes, I did have expectations, you didn't turn out the way I wanted, or no, you're perfect, or like blah, blah, blah. So.
I didn't answer it either way.
No, you didn't.
So probably the thing that I struggled the most with about expectations was that I was a child that loved to read. And
I'm not. So
that was really tricky for me because I had this idea in my head that I'd have a little bookworm and that we'd be reading books together and...
Get any bookworms?
No. So that was probably when I really had to think about that idea of my expectations and why I felt like my expectations weren't being met. And then I realised they didn't have to be. But hopefully at some point you'll love reading too.
No. All right.
Okay.
Your question.
My question is...
I'm scared.
Have there ever been times when you wish you had a different mum?
Well, okay, so... Yes, but... Sometimes when, like, you know, when you get, like, annoyed at them or, like, you see someone or, like... Say, like, you had, like, with your, like, phone or something. Say, all your friends had phone and you didn't have a phone. Like, you sometimes wish you had different parents that just let you have that and, like, let you just do what your other friends are doing or what kids at school are doing. So, like, letting them have a bit more freedom. But, of course, you don't know what's going on in their life. They could want something that they want. So, yes... But I do love my mom.
Oh, thank you.
She's a great mom. So, yeah. I feel like we've all... Have you had that when you were younger where you've wanted, like, what your friends have and you've really wanted it for a long time? Like, when I started high school, all my friends had social media. Well, most of my friends had social media. Like, everyone had social media, but I didn't. And so I was like, well, I just want them to like understand what's going on in my mind and let me have it. And like, but you know, it's great having you as a mum and dad as a dad.
And it's very normal to fantasize about having a different mum and dad that are amazing and will give you all the
like
things.
Like the reality TV shows you see, like with all the rich mums and stuff.
Fancy houses, fancy cars.
We do have a pretty fancy house.
We're pretty lucky, aren't we? Alrighty.
That was fun. See you next
Bye.
episode.